So I'm gonna start recording again. What's up, everybody? Again. Okay. Hope you all had a great weekend. I did. Blah blah blah. I'm gonna skip that little short intro again because I'm not worried. We are back at it with quantum. Right now, we're breaking that bullish candle right here under 55. Needs to stay underneath it. If it pops back in, potentially challenging the range. Right. Here's what's risky about these kind of setups. Right. This is the candle that broke it. It is kind of a tip break. It's not like a full blown break, but that will be your stop. Is all the way up there. You want to see it reject. You want to start seeing it stay underneath 55. Then you want to see it break 46. But 46 is still this little level right here. 46 exactly looks like is what's holding down the fort at the moment. Also, this level at 48.75 on the 2. SPX hitting the stack level here. Okay, there's the wick right on it. It's trying. It's getting wicky. The DOM is not going super crazy just yet. So I think it's going to pull down some. If it does break below here, I mean, obviously right now, the 1 minute levels, I don't have anything at the moment down there. Let's take a look. I got little soft spots here. Let me see if I got to extend the levels in any way. Let me see. I have 60-day look back. I have 1,000 max points. Let me take a look at the 2 minutes. Let's see. 1,000 points, 60-day look back. Looks like we're going to rely on some 5-minute levels here, y'all. And some SPX levels, but right now still holding on to dear life to that. Wow, another little bounce. Nice bounce right there. All right, nice quick bounce, and then right back to it. We can flip right there if it breaks that. Let's see. I really have nothing on the 2 minute at all? Wow, okay, that's interesting. You haven't been down here in a while, huh? After these 5-minute levels, yeah, I got a bunch of 5-minute levels still. We're going to be watching 5-minute levels and SPX right there. SPX is ripping through its stack level right now. And there goes NQ. NQ needs to break this, needs to stay under 55, needs to break this. But if it does not, there's a chance this will test some. SPX is bouncing here. I want to see that's too close. That's way too close. If it reclaims it, there's a good chance. Yeah, there goes SPX right there. This would be, dang, the stops on these are just wild though. 46-point stop. 46, that's like 20-point stop loss from there, but there it goes, right? It's holding on to the level. This can close above, might look better. SPX needs to do the same thing. SPX is showing definitely more strength than NQ at the moment. And this did create a lower low right here, just a tip, a little bit lower low. So now you want to see if this will hold above 46 and maybe go. If not, it'll make a new lower low. It'll continue down. And I have a lot of room down. I mean, a lot of room down. 984 could be next. 984, past 984 would be soft box here at 915. Kind of didn't want to use that. All right, there goes some droppage right there. That needs to stay below it. I kind of want to see if it'll stay below 48. So that was a clean break, right? Here's a little retest on that. It's 5 minutes trying to curl down as well. More SPX ripping below its level. There goes. I got in. Wow. Okay. I mean, that's just violent. There's violent moves. 4 micros. I'm up 130 bucks already. I'm gonna trail 2, and I'm gonna leave 2 at the back. All right. Wow, still going. Still going. Look at that violent move. Look at that violent move. Broke that level, 0 pullback. 0 pullback on that break. Today is just a level day. It's just a level day. It's simple. Today has been so freaking simple. There you go. Look at that. Still going. I got 2 micros left. I got in with 3. Simple level breaks. It's just clean. Oh my gosh. It's still going. Holy shit, guys. It's still going. Oh my god. There we go, guys. Caught a banger already. Right off the bat. 40-pointer. Close below. 0 pullback. What made you not get the long? I watched the candle, right? I don't like to get in if I don't see a clean bounce. I saw SPX bounce, pulled back immediately. No go. If you play it a couple times, do not try to play it more than 2 or 3 times. The 3rd time is the gamble, right? Have a tight stop. If you get stopped out on the 3rd time, right, never give back what you made. That's key. And then wait for that break to go the opposite way, because usually it will, especially something like this. A day like today, It plays. Look at you, Scat. God damn, Scat. You've become the master option scalper, bro. You become the master. Scat, you become the master option scalper with Quantum, bro. That's insane, man. That is fucking insane, dude. What you're able to do with options, brother. It's amazing, bro. For real, it's amazing. So that's why, like, I look at the bounces. Pay attention to the bounces. How strong does it bounce? The first couple of times it bounced pretty good, right? That was it. And it kept every time it came down, P money, it lost its steam. You can see that it started bouncing weaker. It started holding below, right? Right, this blue candle right here, right? It started holding below 55. It could not close above it. That was your tell that it's starting to get weaker, right? And then there was that drop. Immediately broke through the level and it gave zero pullback. The level held a few times, held. You can see where it was holding before 1, 2, 3, 4. Came through, held once, held again, then stopped. Hard little wake up, then came right back down, and then boom, break. So it's important to pay attention to that. All right, Cipos, let's see what you guys say. You just said Javi. Yes, Cipos, yes. I noticed on your chart that the red and green shade areas are gone. Yes, I only used it on the 5. Oh, look at that. Because I reloaded the chart, it took it away on the 5. Oh my God, it's still going. I have one micro running right now. My last micro is up $80 almost. Almost. So this right now is still running a little bit. I got in at 37, so I'm up 40 points right now. All right, so let me go ahead and fix that because I only look at the trend on the 5 minute. Historically, I've always looked at the higher time frame trends. I never looked at them on the 1 or the 2, which is why I got rid of those clouds on the 1 and the 2. Holy crap, guys. This thing is still going. I'm almost up 50 points on this short. Almost 50 points here, y'all. We don't have anything until right here. We're hitting this level at 80. This is where I'm going to be careful. And if it bounces here, I'll get out of this and I'll be perfectly fine. But that's all you guys need. One trade, right? I can find setups all day. You have to be patient. You have to be very patient. There it is. Boom. Easy. Easy, easy, easy. I'm taking that $100 right there. One micro. Quick 235 right here, guys. 235 with just 3 micros on that trade right there. 3 micros. Okay. We've all been preaching this. We've all been preaching this. I've been preaching it since the beginning, obviously, of my time here. You see what Logan's able to do with it, right? Insane what you can do with a couple micros. On volatile days like today is where it's important to size down. Let's go, Pink Profit. It's so important to size down on days like today. These movements are very violent. They get scary, but respect your stop losses. Don't be afraid to re-enter here and there, but like you have to be able to be patient. You have to be able to take your time, and it's still going. Like 80, this 80 right now, that's a 5 minute level. Zero bounce there. I got taken out. I'm okay there. So, but pay attention to what it does, right? Zero bounce at that level. That's gonna tell me that this is violently continue to push down, right? If it pushes back above, maybe. But right now, by 5 minute level locked in up here, look, 41, 5 minute level locked in. Now, will it stay underneath 80 for a continuation push? Or will it push right back above? Oh, shit. Look at SPX. SPX melting. SPX, the next area for SPX is 866. So this could still keep going. I have nothing here on my 1 minute, guys. It's been a while since we've had any push down this far. We're back at the 24,000s. So I'm going to rely mainly on SPX levels and my 5 minute levels for the time being. I do probably have soft boxes down here, but obviously because this is quantum session, I have them off. I have this one on the 2 minute. I'm not even sure which one that one's from, but I'll leave it on there for now. I want to see if it does come out there. It's 920, right? 920 lines up with this. Is like, I'm going to I guess I'll kind of tease it a little bit, right? If it does manage down to get to 920, I got a 5 minute level right there, right above the box. I want to see if that's where it's heading to. Let's see if that's what we're coming down to. But an insane, so far, 70-point drop from that initial entry. Zero pullback on the break of that level. Today's been a beautiful level day. Beautiful level day. I can't preach what Javi is saying, size fuck down. Exactly, Scott. Thank you. I could not figure out how to get rid of that. I knew that there was a way. I just couldn't remember. Yeah. So yeah, that's how you do it. It's the trend transparency. Trend transparency. Maybe it's a sign not to trade if I'm up a band. Don't trade, brother. If you're up a band, I turned off both devices off Wi-Fi connected to my neighbors and nothing. Red leg, go take a break, bro. If you're up a band, don't give any of that shit back. If I'm up a certain amount of certain accounts, I stop. I just stop. I move on. You guys see how many accounts I moved to? I have so many. I just stop. I made what I needed to make on all my funded accounts, right? The ones that I decided to trade today. I passed a couple more evals. I loaded up a new Alpha Zero. You know, I've done my thing already. I don't need to give any of it back. There's no point of it. Well, now we're waiting to see where the next reactionary zone is. Is SPX going to hit all the way down there at 68.66 first, or are we going to hit this 920 here on NQ? That's what I'm looking for next. All right, let's take a look at metals. Let's take a look at metals here. I'm gonna full screen it again for you guys. I do like the full screen, obviously. All right, let's look at metals. Look at dude, metals doing the same thing. Big dumpage on metals. Metals breaking through a bunch of levels too as well right now. Rips through this. Oh, it's got room potentially to go. Yeah, nice gold drop. I mean, there were scalping opportunities on gold either way too. This one against the stack levels, you don't want to go through that. Like 2 minutes. Look at that 2 minute. All right, nice little scalp there. Nice little scalp there. Probably got stopped out on that one. It hasn't looked bad today for metals either. Just very volatile. Very, very volatile. Here's silver hitting a level right now. Like silver's actually looked really clean. Little moves. Yeah, silver's actually looked pretty clean today. Oh man, look at that one. This little advanced read there, but silver's scary as hell. This one would have been ugly. That one got stopped out before. Nice one there. Nice scalps on. Wow, look at silver. Holy crap, silver had some moves today. All right, silver ripping through its levels too. Wow, super bearish right now. Oh shit, look at gold. Gold ripping down. Look at this. Cellathon. All right, it's a cellathon right now on everything. Did Trump say something? Is it someone say something? This is very interesting. All right, let's see. I want to see what it does here at 920. I want to see it's gonna get down there. I'm pretty positive. Here's SPX racing to those levels as well. Might not make it. If SPX makes it down here first, NQ might not make it. It might not make it. It's really freaking close. It is really freaking close. Did it leave anything untraced up here? No, it did not. It did not. The DOM has not started to go crazy just yet either. So I'm keeping an eye on that. It's kind of fluid. Okay, it started to go crazy around 50. It's still, yeah. All right, let's see. Is it going to break it? It's going crazy around 50. So it looks like 50 is kind of an area for it. SPX hit that stack level here. NQ might not manage to get there. It's kind of going already. I want to see if NQ can start pulling over 60. Then it might start going. There it goes. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, look at that. So here's a little, wow. Okay, boom. Look at that. I got in with 2 micros and already got one out. Look at that. I'm already at 300. I'm just going to let it trail me out if it does. $300 already. So when you have SPX hitting an area, you can track that on NQ, right? A little bit of free chicken for y'all. All right, quick scalp that, and that's it, right? I still think it might try to get down to 920. SPX is showing, NQ is showing a little bit of weakness. So I just scalped that little bounce, and that was it. And let's see what SPX is going to hang out while NQ goes down some more. It looks like NQ wants to go and give a quick tap down there. So NQ is showing some major weakness at the moment. And that took out my runner, 295. I'll take that. Obviously talking about SPX versus NQ. SPX versus NQ. So if you listen to Max in the morning, you'll notice that Max loves to read SPX and NQ. I do the exact same thing. I go into detail on it on the coaching stuff, obviously. All right, there's NQ. Look at that. Look, NQ is racing down. I knew it wanted to come down there. SPX is trying to rip through these levels now. So I want to see when NQ gets down here, I want to see SPX pop back up. If it does not, then this might keep going. If it breaks through that, holy shit, there's more room down. All right, there's SPX. Look, what did it hit? 28. It hit 28. Hit 28. Hitting. I wanted it to get a little closer. It might not. Look, SPX pumped right up. I mean, if somebody caught that, it's already almost 20 points right there. I didn't catch that. It was really close, but sometimes you have to have confidence of just trying out with one. Look at that, 20 some points off that 28 bounce, and that's just right. SPX did what I was looking at. Right, SPX hitting up at levels, and Q about to get to a major level. Hard bounce. It got to 28. It didn't manage to get to 20. Right, 5-minute levels are strong, so good chance that it might not touch it all the way exactly. And that's where you kind of have to pay attention to these things. You start seeing all these little nuances with the levels. Look at that. Oh my God. Look at that. Almost 30 points off that 28 bounce. Did anybody catch that? The guy didn't. Somebody must have caught it. SPX hit inside the bed, and Q got really close to that 920. Got really, really close. You're in the long. There you go. Right. You got to be able to get in with confidence. And right, if it breaks 920, get out. If it breaks 920, get out. If it comes back up and pops back up 920, you can try to get back in, but respect the stops, right? Don't try to go in with a 20-point stop or a 10-point stop. When those levels are strong, they're not going to break below. You got in at 28 or 30, right? Your stop would have been at 20. And then wait, let's see what it does after it comes up to 20. Look at that. Look at that. This is how I do this. It's simple. For me, it's simple, right? I want to make it simple for all you guys too. I want to be able to make sure you guys see this, right? I kept saying that 920. I kept saying these areas earlier, right? 60s, all these areas. I'm waiting for reaction. Do you manually close? My stop losses. So normally I trail. I have these settings on my DOM right here. I'll kind of show you. So if you go to your DOM settings and stop type, I have it set to trailing stop. Right, this is because I mimic the way I trade on my phone because I love to trade on my phone. Everyone knows that. I love to trade on my phone. So the phone is automatically locked into trailing stop, and I mimic the exact same thing here. If I want to get out of it, usually I hit exit, quick cancel all. Right, you kind of have to be fast on it. There have been occasions where sometimes I get out right before it breaks the level. But guess what? If it comes back up and I like it, I'll get right back in. So that's how I tend to do it. Everyone can do it a little different, right? You can have it set to hard stop first and then switch it to trailing stop, adding a little step there. But you could do it if that's the way you want to do it, right? Some people use ATMs, bracket orders. I personally don't, just because on certain occasions I DCA. I call it my strategic DCAing, right? On level retests or candle retests, anything like that, where I keep my stop the same and I'll add on a potential area for retest. So that's why I don't use ATMs personally, but they are amazing. Like especially like Logan's. Logan's ATMs are freaking goated in my opinion. P money, it's hard. It's hard to know when to enter when it's level play. You enter on the near touch of the level. That's it. Breaks the level, get out. Breaks the level, get out. Today has been, and again, you have to pay attention to what the market's doing. I've been watching the market since the morning. I've been seeing how it's been respecting every level creation, how it's respecting the pretty much as it comes down to a level that it's already hit before it approaches and it hits it a couple times. It's just respecting it. There was a 2-minute level that I scalped 3 times for like 40 points each time. The third time, that was it. I was like 3 times the charm. It happened a couple more times. Cool. Then I just waited for it to break. And if it broke, I got in. But if it didn't, I was like, okay, it was cool to see it over and over again. Look at this. You're up. Anybody in that long still? Almost 100 points. This is how I catch my trades. Ooh, SPX left a huge gap, so be cautious. There's a huge gap left below. Look at that, almost 100 points. I caught a few 100-pointers today. With a couple of micros. And entry points, right? A++ entry points, candle close. Advanced read entry points are at the retest of the levels, right? Level areas, entry points is near the level. Stop loss is a break of the level. Days like today where it could wick out hard, right? You don't want to hold it on a hard wick out. You're going to get out of it while it's just breaking through it and see if it comes back up to it. Volatile days are the toughest days. Okay, they are the toughest days. Today is a very volatile day. Let me take a look at the ATR. Right, ATR is at 23. Right, at the peak, the ATR was up here at like 27. It was higher, I believe. Yeah, it was at 30, 35. It hit 35 at its peak. That's a lot of volatility, right? A lot of big moves that were potentially there. A lot of big moves. So you had to be very small size, very cautious, and you had to be able to be patient, pretty much. You had to be patient for the areas to touch and then see the reactions from there. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Maestro, look at that short, but got in and out. Didn't hold the whole move. Don't worry about holding the whole move, Sergio, right? You're not always going to carry the whole move. You're not always going to catch the whole move. I caught the majority of the move with 1 micro, right? I gave it extra room to breathe because I wanted to see how close it would get to that level. Guess what? It got close to the level. I got you out. It kept going, right? It kept going, and I just watched it. And I watched it, and guess what? Right? I watched it get close to that 920, right? That 920 area was the next area for me. And then what did it do, right? It's almost up 100 points from that 920 area. 928. It's about to be 100 points right now. So never, ever, Zordro, never, ever, ever look at it like, oh, I missed all that bread. Oh, I should have held longer. No, man, be happy with what you take and then get out, wait patient, move on, take a break. After a win or a loss, I always recommend taking a break, right? Get off the chart for a few minutes. Let the chart breathe because you have that, you want to immediately get in again. And I know that feeling, and that feeling tends to lead you to tilt. Simple as that. It will lead you to tilt. It will lead you to revenge trading, and then you're gonna just screw yourself over. Look at that. Like, look at this, right? What did I see? What did I, I hope everyone paid attention because I do this every day. I do this at Power Hour, right? Over 100 points now. SPX hit this level right here, right? What did NQ do? NQ approached that 920 because I was like, NQ, I think, wants to get down there. Once it got down there, SPX broke through, ripped right back up. Boom. Rocket ship. And that's those confluences that you can add. You were 18K today, now I'm only 8K. Then stop, Stilltree. Stop. You gave back 10K, just stop. Don't give that 8K. Now don't give that 8K back. Well, what happened, Stilltree, right? Let's do a little psych stuff. Let's do a little psych stuff. What happened? What would you say happened to lead you to lose 10K? Very nice, Alaskan. Very nice. Do you take a trade when you see the double stack finish being created? No. David, I get in when I see these double stack forming, right? I'm looking at my 1 and my 5. I'm going to try to always make my entry off the 1 minute because that's going to be my lowest risk entry, right? If I miss it on the 1 and I do still like it on the 2, I might make my entry on the 2. But usually, right, it actually happened over here. I look for a little bit of a retest. I look for a little pullback, right? Would have been nicer to pull back a little closer to 64. It did it, right? But your 5 minute is crossing up. Now, if it breaks 41, right, breaks through 41, good chance, right? You could get a push up to 105 again, right? And I hope you guys see, right? Everything for me, I look at it as an orb, right? Mid, top, bottom. I have little orb levels. Right? If it breaks 41, we have a potential room push, right? How far up can we go up? That's the question. We don't know. We don't know how far up it will go. But there's a break of 41. Right? If I was already in it, I'm not going to get in it now, but if it was already in it, if it can break and hold above 41.25, there's a chance it could go up further. Right, here's your 5 minute trying to push through. We didn't get the trifecta set up here. We only got it on the 2, right? We didn't get it on the 1. It would have been nice if we got the blue candle and the buy on the 1. We would have had the trifecta showing off right now. But where's the 5 minute stuck at, right? Look at this, right? Top, mid, bottom. Like that's how I view things. Like it becomes so easy to view everything like an orb. Unless it breaks that 41.25, it ain't going nowhere. So like double stack level creation, right? You don't want to get in late because sometimes this will happen. You get in, 5 minute candle close, it's gonna retest some of that, right? On Friday during the event, there was a 5 minute level. We caught that almost 100 point long. There was that reaction on that 5 minute level formation. When the 5 minute level forms, you don't want to see it pull back too close to the level. It will happen sometimes, depending on how far it is. So if it pulls back and retests some of it, I don't want it to pull back too far because that's going to give a slight indication that the level might not be that strong. I want it to pull back a little bit and not to the level and then kind of push up from it. And then hopefully, if this is going to be a strong level formation here at 83 and a quarter, we should see that little pullback here, and then you should see it start breaking through that 41. If it breaks through that 41, again, next area would be that potentially around 105. You have to be patient. But again, then would I get in it now? Hell no. Hell no, because this is right now is stuck in between. It's stuck in between. This could easily come all the way back down to retest this. Right, your 1 minute starting to curl up a little bit. The action lines are pretty far apart. Like I don't like when they're far apart. I want them to be a little closer because this has to kind of pull down, then start breaking back under 25,000. to just potentially get down here to 83. So that's like really far away, right? Look at the 2, right? Sitting on top of the 2, sitting on top of the 5. That's a bullish stance for me. That's a bullish stance if it's sitting on top. Could it come down? Yes, but right now this is sitting like it wants to keep pushing up. Let's watch and see. All right. I was down 15K yesterday. Wanted to make it back. Oh, okay. You were down 15K. 8K, that's a good day, dude. If you're up 8K today, bro, that's good. Don't try to make the whole 15K back in one day, man. Take that 8K, right? That one account that I had that I showed you guys, right? The account that I have a really good days, and then I have that one day where I have fun on that account. That's not one of my like serious accounts. And they have a daily loss limit. And I hit the daily loss limit. Guess what? The next 3 days, I slowly build back up and make up what I lost. I don't try to make it back the next day immediately. It's little by little. But the fact that you made back half of that, bro, good. Like, if you're losing 15K one day, bro, size down a little. Size down a little bit. Size down a little bit. Javi, I feel like I'm trying to do too many things, too many strats with different accounts. Even with Quantum, I'm looking at 10 different ways to take a trade. How do you give me the simplest play to focus on? I want to just lock in and wait for one setup. I keep playing that setup until I understand it. Then wait for either my 2 favorite setups, the advanced read, right, the retest of the A++ levels, and the quantum ranges. Those 2 are the easiest, right? Once you start understanding how to read these candles, everything starts piecing together, right? I'm only looking at these 2 candles. That's it, right? These are the only candles I'm looking at. Every other candle between, I don't care about. I'm looking for reaction around levels, right? Next thing, okay? Second thing, right? When you have them back and forth, right? Just like this. What is this, right? This is your quantum range. This is going to be your favorite thing to play with. Quantum range right there. Quantum range. Back and forth. Back and forth. Guess what happens when it breaks? It goes down. Guess what happens when it tries to retest? If it's a good break and you have levels attached to it, it tends to stay below it a good amount, right? Nice pull down, nice pull down. Oh, look, we got another bullish candle. No real quantum range down here, right? This was that short that we played. Oh, look at the break. Pushed back up. And this is the candle that broke, right? The candle that broke never got stopped out. It got really close. Got really close on that guy. Pulled right back down. Then you had a retest, right? If you got stopped out and you're like, okay, if you had a tighter stop because it was kind of wide, that candle came back in, right? You could have got back into it here with kind of the same stop, or could have put it up there again. There's a retest fail and then the dump right there. Like it's right there. The failed bullish and bearish moves, just waiting for these to happen, are the lowest risk trades you're going to find with these setups. I've taken so many low risk trades based on just this alone over and over and over again. Those are where my biggest trades have come from, right? Do they always come from the A++ setup? No, they don't, right? Oh, look, it's breaking through 41. It needs to hold above it. It's got 15 seconds left. This 5-minute candle needs to hold above it, right? It's don't mix and match too much, right? I don't come in with a bias. I have zero bias when I come in. I'm just waiting for my reaction. I'm waiting for my setup. I'm waiting for my candles. That is it. Nothing else. That is it. Okay. I'm just waiting for that. Everything else in between, I don't care about. If I see a three bar attached to one of my candles, great. If I don't, oh well. All right. You can see kind of a little follow through 3-bar here. Okay. You can see that's just a failed little push down. Obviously, I don't like these kind of big wicks. But you start seeing on every single time frame, you see it over and over and over again, right? There's a tippy tip break, not the best break, but it did push through. It gave you a new blue, right? You have all. Let's turn off the orb per doc. There's a lot of lines here, right? Even on the 2-minute, you can see it all over the place. But again, right, when you have higher time frames, you got to have a little bit more patience, a lot more risk as well, right? Here was that freaking range from the opening. Right, the opening range was insane, back and forth, and then kind of hung out here for a little bit, then kind of came back down, held, came back down. There's your break. No pull, no retest, pulled down. There's a little bit of a retest, right? What else did this give you? Gave you another little bullish zone here, right? Then it pulled up. Then it gave you your new bearish zone here, right? And what do I see here? What do I see here? I see an orb. I see my top, my mid, my bottom, right? Is it even? No, it's not even. Do I care? No. Like, where do I have more room? I have more room to play with in here. Then up here, here's tight, here's wide. So it comes down to the bottom, right? Oh, a little break, comes down, right? Then what do? I move that there. Now I have this little area and this whole area. Guess what it does? Comes back up, rejects, comes back down. Oh, what happens when it breaks? Comes down. Then what does it form? You could do this all day. Right? You could do this all freaking day. Another little zone. Little break, right? Oh, guess what? This one would have stopped us out. Oh, okay. That's great. I got stopped out. No worries. Right? Guess what? Here's my new little orb. There's a little break. Little 3-bar failed. Came back down. Boom, boom, right? Oh, there's another break right here. There's your break. Little retest. And 5-minute lining up, right? Always take a look at your other time frames too. And there was that move. Boom, down. Okay. So you start seeing, again, 2-minute time frame. More risk. You're going to get stopped out. Is it perfect? No. You're going to get stopped out a few times. But that's why I look for risk. I always size according to risk. And make sure you guys check out that pinned message. The pinned messages on how I risk, how I play, what my contract size are, depending on the risk. Let's go to the 1 minute. Okay, the 1 minute. Okay, let's turn off the advanced orb for now. Okay. And we can start looking at it over here, right? Before the market even opened. Before the market even opened. Right? What do you see? Like, what do you see? All right? Before the market even opened. This is why I love when the pre-market moves beautifully. Break. Level creation. Hold. Boom. Right? Oh, look, a new one. Over and over and over again. Over and over and over again. This kind of confirms your trend as well. Every time you have a failed blue candle to bullish candle, that's confirming your trend is strong going down. Another break comes down, right? Level gets created. All right, continue to follow the process over and over and over again. Initially it was here, right? Initially it was here, big purple break, retest failed, push back up, came back up to the level, another purple formed here, little tippy tip break, push back in, boom, boom, little break here, little push down, up, there's a new blue, widened it up, nice and wide now, top, bottom, little break, failed to hold below, there's your break, there's your retest, there's your little push down, try to creep back in, 830, right, 830, as you get closer to market open, you're going to get more volatility, you're going to get more wicks, more wildness. Now what do I have here, right? Top, mid, bottom. Look, broke through, hit the top, came back in, hung out here. Oh, wow, look what happens when it breaks. Break, boom, nice move. What does it do down here? Right, same thing. What do I see? North. Top, mid, bottom. Simple. I guess this is how I break it down over and over and over again. We're a part of this Discord where the main guy here is the Orb King. All right. So like I basically see orbs everywhere. And then the opening, right? You had your whole pre-market orb right here. Got stuck in here for a little bit, little break, little retest, little push down, right? And then you can widen it as it does its thing. You can see this little right here, right? You can see this little area where that bullish, bearish, and bullish pull was. Right down here, right? And you see this little tightness, little break, failed retest with the blue, which makes it wider. Right into open, right? Right into open, boom, 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 right into that level. That level, hard rejection, hard breakthrough everything. Immediately, right? Candles get broken, boom, that's gone, right? That's gone. This is gone, right? Where am I moving that to? Right up there. Still got these guys holding up for it. See where that level held. Then you got that wide blue minute. So hard push down, hard pulled up all the way back up here. You can see where it kind of like just stayed back and forth for a while. And then just kind of gave you that break here, pulled back in hard, made it wider. Again, I don't like to make it this wide. I like to keep it tight. I want my ranges to be like this. This is what I want my ranges to be like. Right? Do I like a break and push up? No. Why? Because it's got that level above. Right? I got all these barriers above. Definitely more room down. Right? Every push down got pushed up. Here's your 1 and 5 minute stack, right? You can see your 5 and 1 minute stack here. Then that gave it the push it needed. Once that 5-minute level formed, that's where this blue candle failed. Then you saw your real move come in. Your real move started occurring right here. That broke, violent push down. And there was a couple levels down here that kept holding, kept pushing up, right? This is where it was resisting at first. Then you kind of saw the little build up. You could just, again, right? I don't like to build up these lines all the time. But you can start seeing the build up, the push, right? If it pushes back up, failed bullish move, where does it have room to go to? Right here, right? Look where it rejected, all the way back down. And then you can start piecing this together over and over and over again. It just does the same thing over and over and over again. breaks, go, right? Goes down, comes back down to a level that was here. This is why I hate backtesting like this, because there were levels down here. And I hope everyone was paying attention. There were levels down here, right? You have your top, your mid, your bottom, back and forth, right? Breaks the mid, goes to the top, kept kind of hanging out here, broke the mid to the bottom. Guess what happens when it breaks that bottom? Move, right? Now you have another stack level right here, right? Stack level right there, pushes back up, breaks inside. Where does it have room to go if it breaks back inside? Nowhere. It's got this little thing, and zoom in, right? This is again, right? Why I can play the chop. What do I have here? Top, mid, bottom. Breaks in, has room here, but if it's a strong level, it's not going to hit all the way. Pushes up, rejects, pushes down. And then progression, right? Again, today was a volatile day. You had wide movement, like super wide. And then same thing, right? Oh, if it pushes, it breaks above this, right? Breaks this guy. Where's it got to go? It has to contest that. There's no room for it. For me, there's no trade here. Oh, it broke that purple candle. That's a failed bullet bearish move. To where? Here. Yeah, that's a stack level, right? Am I going to take that? No, everything else has to line up for me. Hard rejection again, back down. Nice little level creation, all the way back to the bottom, right? This is the trade we literally just caught, and you start seeing this all over the place. It is just clean movement over and over and over again, right? Today was level play. You can see all these failed candles, just volatility. Volatility is scary. It is scary. Your stop losses are going to be wide, so size the hell down. You're going to have opportunity. I made so much today on several accounts just trading 3 micros. I did one eval where I went up to 9, and it was scary. 9 micros was scary. I made like $780 like a blink of an eye, but I did see it pull back to minus 300 something before that happened. I was like, you know, you have to that's why sizing down is important. But it was an eval, so I was able to kind of stomach that. But if even on evals, because I'm not the kind of guy that likes to risk too much either. If I see more than minus 300-400, I'm just going to be like, that I don't like that feeling. And again, right, I'm the guy that takes care of his bread, so that's what I do. All right. Again, 5 minute, right? 5 minutes. Let's look at the 5 minute. All right, again, higher time frames, higher risk involved. Okay, same kind of deal. 8:30, right? Look what happens at 8:30 on this little tight little 5 minute range, right? There's your break, there's a retest, there's your push, right? Pulled right back up, and they gave you that big ass 5 minute big purple right here. All right, broke that blue, pulled right back up, kept kind of challenging this area over and over and over again. Rejection. Gave me this range right here. This is a cleaner range. No, actually, no, that big wick, but it still kind of gave you a range until it broke above below. There's the break. Hard pull down, right? That was just an instant break. 5 minute time frame. I'm just showing examples. I will trade off the 5 minute. I will not, because you're gonna get burned on the 5 minute, in my opinion. But there's a nice break, push down, came back up, and then guess what? We saw rejection off that zone, and then here is that next little range zone, right? That formed. Obviously, that broke below it, pushed right back up, and then you see where it's rejecting over and over and over again. There's your break. There's your clean break with your clean retest, right? I saw this earlier, and I was like, damn, that was actually a clean 5 minute break and retest, because the risk on this was pretty damn low considering what I've seen today. Still 30 points, but for a 5 minute, that's not that bad. But there's your move, and there's your break. There's your retest. Failed. Push down. Okay. Again, this is what I look at, right? I'm only looking at these candles. That's it. I'm not looking at everything else. And then guess what? The only time I ever pay attention to these is when they break. When I see that clean break, this is the one I'm paying attention to. This is going to be my guide. This is going to be my stop candle. These are going to be my potential entry points. One of these two, whichever one. My stop is up there. All right, 30-point risk. I'm going to touch that with probably 1 freaking micro. What do the light green candles indicate? The light green candles are just regular candles, right? If you go into your settings, right? Here's what they normally look like, right? I had to make it look sexy for Max, right? I had to make her look like Sydney Sweeney, and Max loves his colors, so I made it look like Sydney Sweeney for him. So that's what the regular colors would look like. You could change them to whatever color you want, honestly. We have them set to Max's sexy colors. This is recorded only, charts. This is recorded. Yes, I am recording this one. All right. And look where SPX, right? SPX, stack level again, pushed up. Look where it pushed up to. That's where failing right now. To break that level above, failure, failure, hard meltdown, right? Where does NQ holding off, right? NQ is holding off this guy right here. This is the barrier, right? That purple candle right there is holding down the fort. Wick, wick, wick. It's holding down the fort, right? No, I don't care about any of these other guys. That guy. That's the one I care about. Now it's holding down the fort. Now we got another one, right? Broke that bullish candle. That's a failed bullish move. That could come back up to retest 11. Could come back up to retest right here, right? There's your break, right? Here's one that's forming, right? But this is where you have to be cautious. This is where you have to make that little decisive decision do I take this? Do I not take this? Why? Because look, fighting a 5-minute level, then right below it, there is a 1-minute level. There's room in between, but I'd rather not take it because this is potential. It's a 5-minute level. I'd rather just get stuck down here. If it comes back up to 12 and you're willing to risk 16, 18 points, maybe, right? You just pulled up to 08. The pushes are violent. The pushes are violent right now. It's just risky. But again, I don't want to play in this tight of a box. Could it go? Yes, it could. But I'm going to make my decision based off what I see. Do I have good room to go? Is it worth the risk for me? If it's not, I'll just sit down on my hands. I don't have to take every single trade. 2 minutes kind of trying to cross down too. 5-minute is potentially trying to break again, right? The 5-minute is holding this downtrend. This is why I love the higher time frame trends the most. The 5-minute is downtrending hard. Every time it's challenged that first level of trend, of downtrend, it has failed hard. Look at this. Since the open. All right. Before the open, right? This broke the trend over here at around 7:30 in the morning. There has been zero attempt at breaking it. Look, failure, 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 failure. Little tiny break here. Little tiny break, failure, 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 failure. It is holding that downtrend so well right now. So what I would be constantly looking for is failed bullish moves. That's the downtrend indication. That's the confirmation. When you're seeing a lot of these. This is why it's so important for me to pay attention to that higher time frame and then base off what I'm seeing with these candle breaks over and over and over. When the trend up is strong, you're going to see the opposite. You pay attention when they're in an uptrend. You're going to see a lot of these bearish candles get broken over and over and over again. I don't see them on the 5-minute. Okay, are those all quantum levels showing on the 1-minute? Mine only. I don't have anything down here. So unfortunately with TradingView, and I hope with Will charts that we may have this little fix or change, because TradingView on the 1-minute doesn't give that much historical data. It's annoying. Me and Owen have trying to figure out how to fix that, but it's a TradingView thing. It's a TradingView thing. So when you get to these points where there are no levels down here, right? One of two things that I like to do. I like to go back and look where the last time the price action was down here, and I'll go and kind of look where there might be 1-minute levels or 2-minute levels, or I'll strictly rely on NASDAQ's 5 minutes and SPX's levels, because SPX will have a little bit better historical data on these. All right, so I can put 200 here on SPX. And you could do the same with ES at night, right? Look at that, right? I have a lot more data on SPX that's available than NQ. That's just an annoying TradingView thing that we hate. We hate it. But we hope that Wolf Charts will help us out with that, because it's frustrating. It's frustrating because I don't want to go back all the way and look for levels. I want to just have them there. So how are you getting so many support and resistance lines? I only see 4 on my screen. So those I was drawing those by hand, right? I was showing you the blues and purple candles are the wicks, right? The blue, right, is a bullish candle. The bottom of that would be your support zone. The top of the purple would be a resistance zone. So I'm just drawing these in as an example, right? When you have resistance zones close to levels, right, like this, right? You have these 2 purple candles near this 5. You have that the initial break here of that guy, right? But then where did it have room to go? It didn't have room to go to that stack level, right? You had one above here. And I'm just drawing these, right? Once this one formed, you have that one, right? And so on and so forth. I just draw these lines right there, right? If we put these on quantum, there'll be lines everywhere. I don't want that. This is something that as you guys get better at reading it, you'll start seeing these blues and purples like that, right? You should see those blues and purples as support resistance candles. The purples, the top of the wicks, are going to be the resistance points, and then the bottom of the blues will be the potential support. So when they break, they should flip, right? If they break, they should become resistance. It's a failed bullish move. Vice versa. You see a purple candle get broken, you want to see it then start holding above it to flip it from resistance to support for the move up. And that's an indicative tell on where the current trend lies. All right, let me make sure I didn't miss any questions. Took the bounce off 983. Nice, J-Rod. Avi. Yeah, this is recorded. Let me see. I'll make sure I didn't miss any questions. I have to go back. And then we're going to probably... All right, Javi, I feel like I'm trying too many. Yeah, so if you're trying too many things, Spirit, right, you're an F1 student, Spirit. Okay? I use the Llama Fibs connected with the quantum stuff all the freaking time. Like all the time. Right? Wait for those reactions around them. Sometimes, right, it doesn't give the clean reaction and it just goes. You know, sometimes you just gotta kind of take it and have a tight stop. Llama has tight stops. See if it'll line up, especially when they're around quantum levels. I sometimes do that, right? I'll have it stop. I'll be like, let me test it with a couple of 3 or 2 and see if this, because this is if it's lined up with my sauce box. I mean, I always take that, but if it's not, right, I wait for the touch. I see if the level holds. I wait for the curling if it's going slowly down there, kind of things. But like that's all I use. Like I'm huge on Llama's Fib stuff, Spirit, and then everything else, right? I view everything as an orb, so you know there's where the max stuff kind of comes in. But you don't want to do way too many things, right? You don't want to do too much, right? You want to still kind of focus in. If you're an F1, you understand how to play orb. You understand the 1, 2, 3 punches, all that stuff. You start seeing that with this, and it becomes like really easy. But get focused in on understanding the candles themselves first, and then the level reactions. That's the 2 things I will focus on. Hopefully that helped when I went over like the quantum ranges. The quantum ranges are like my bread and butter, and then you have the advanced reads. Advanced reads are just simple level retest rejections when they're attached to one of our candles. I have a lot of content on that. And we'll go over a lot of this stuff later on as well. If it rejects them down within, I could have entered the short as soon as it went 41, but I didn't know how to feel. Maestro, when it breaks the 5, do you use the purple candles on the lead? Do you use the purple candles then to lead you to 105, or just assume 105 is on the table? I don't assume it's on the table. I just look at that's where I have room to go. Like if it breaks, right? If it breaks through one level, where is the next level? Am I going to use that level as a TP? No, I don't. I just assume it's on the table. Yeah, you could say I assume it's on the table, but I'm not assuming it's going to hit it. Like it's on the table. Could it get there? Maybe. Right. I'm going to take a look at SPX, or SPX has room, NQ. You know, SPX might have a level before it gets to it. Like it's there potentially. If it gets to it, great. If it doesn't, it might not. I didn't have a level at 920 earlier. Did I have level there or a psychological level? No, the 920 level is this 5-minute level right here. It's a 5-minute level. It's right here on this chart. So on your 1 minute, because this is a very old level, it's not going to show up on the 1 minute. The 1 minute is, you know, you could plot it up. Like this is why I like this crosshair, right? If you guys are interested in where the crosshair thing is right here, this cross right here gives you that little thing, so you can line up. Like this is what I do, right? If I'm looking, if I have a 5-minute level that's not showing up on my 1 minute chart, that's what I'll do right here. There it is. So now it's here. You can put in 5-minute level, you know, whatever you want to have it, just so you know where it is. You can put the price it's at. You know, I mean, obviously you can see it right there. Just in case you want to have that in there. You can do the same thing, right? As you go down, right? You can scroll down, right? I have a couple more down here. So what am I going to do? Right, go down here, and I'm going to go do the same thing. Then I'm going to scroll down, match it up with the crosshair. You see how it's matching up, and then I'm going to text 5-minute level, and then bada bing, there it is, my 1 minute chart. Now I have this to kind of look at. That's how I do that part when I don't have anything like that. Meister 1.5. Do you use a perfect? Maestro, when it comes to coming to a double stack, do you call the rejection or do you assume for the first attempt you know it's going to reject? Depends. Sometimes it'll reject hard. I don't always play the initial rejection. I want to see how strong the rejection is, and sometimes the rejection is strong and it just goes. If I just cut the trade on the, if I just cut the long up to the stack level, I'm not going to take the trade immediately to reject. I'll just watch it and it'll reject, and then I'm going to be like, cool, it rejected. And then if it pulls up again and I see my action lines catching up and everything, holy crap, the Dom. Whoa! SPX just ripped down and left a huge gap too. There is, okay, someone's talking. The Dom just started going bonkers. Like literally bonkers. My Dom is going nuts right now. This is news reaction. If it can't break over 916 again, it might start pushing a little bit. But there's that soft box tap. There's that level tap. This is going to create. Oh yeah, there it goes. It did not. It could not push back over, and it just ripped down. This is going to create a new level at 38. If this 2 minutes, it got 2 minutes left, right? If you're looking at a 5-minute level break, you have a whole 2 minutes where it could wick down and pop itself right back up at the last second. So be cautious of that. But SPX left a humongous gap. A humongous gap. Someone's talking. There's got to be something. There's no way these random 1228. A random pop in volume. Look at the insane pop in volume. There's a huge gap up above on SPX, so be cautious. And it's popping right back over 920. Ripping below it again. I'll be cautious here. If this 5 minute fails to break back over 920, it's going to create another level here at around 940-ish, 41. And then we're going to see some definitely more pull down. And then obviously I got Saucebox in play too. This kind of ripped right onto Saucebox. It needs to break underneath 890 next. 890. If it rips 890, holy crap, dude. We're down 2% again today. Wow. All right. All right, 1 minute left for this 5 minute candle. SPX has a shit ton of room down. A ton of room down if it wants to keep going. Wow, damn, there's the bleed through. There it goes. Yep. Could not pop back over 920. Hard rejection down. Boom. And then this 5 minute level is about to lock in. So I might try to retest one more time. I don't want to see it pull all the way up. And then it could potentially keep going. Yeah, I got nothing I want to trade right now other than that one account, but that's it. 17 seconds. Let's see what it does here. SPX has like nothing there. So let's see what it does here. 10 seconds. Yeah, it looks weak as hell. Locks in. 4, 3, 2, 1. It's going to lock in a new level up there. Boom. And there it goes. That was easy. That was easy. 3 micros right there. All right. I'll take that. 3 micros. I'm up almost 450 right there. That was so fast. Almost identical to the power hour during the show on Friday. Level locked in, immediate drop. And that's what you want to see. On a strong level formation, you want to see it lock and then just go. That's it. Like if it does not, that's an indication for me that it wants to retest. And if it wants to retest, let it retest. And I'll wait for a potential retest. There it goes. Actually, it looks like it wants to come up and test some of it, but it's not getting too close. I'm good with that. All right. Sorry, I just took a little degen trade there. Maestro, when it breaks the 5, you use purple candle, then lead to the 1 when it comes to coming in the stack. Kavi, what do you trail for micros? Depends on the volume in there. I usually, after I get my, like today, I've been doing 10 and 15 points instead of the 5 and 10 because it's volatile as hell. And then I trail it from the 15. Look at that violent push up. Wow. There was nothing there. I have nothing there at all. It's retesting that 940 level right now. Immediately went all the way up, right? That's why I say be cautious. It immediately went up to retest it. The Dom is going just buck wild right now. This is insane. Like, it is insane what it's doing right there. Look at that retest and hard rejection. That was it's too like somebody could have caught that, but that was too fast. That was the 30-point retest and rejection. That went from that was a 60-point retest. They rejected at 36 for 30 points. Now it's coming back up a little bit. Ooh, blue. Ooh. Needs to break 40. Okay, there goes. Needs to break that. SPX. SPX is going for this huge gap. This is why I was going to be careful with too. That huge gap right here. I want to see what it does when it fills that in. That's a humongous gap. NQ's kind of hanging out now, showing some weakness. So be cautious, y'all, please. Like, be cautious. This is a very crazy price action. Another rejection. Look at that. 40-point rejection in a matter of seconds. This is insane price action today. But I'm going to just focus on that and nothing else. You got it, Spirit. Just take a long close of 5-minute levels. So you enter on candle closure for A+ setups. Yep. And enter the candle retesting one of your zones. Yes. I studied orb with Max, but I got cooked all the time. Yeah. So yeah, like break and retest. That's literally all I do. Right. If you studied orb, right, and again, right, just orb. Orb can be tricky when it's a range day. When it's a range day, orb is tricky. Period. All right. I find little orbs all over the day. Yeah, that's how I play it. I play these little zones, but you have to be cautious. You have to have everything lined up, right? Look at the 1 and the 5. Make sure the 5 is. If you're looking for long, make sure your 5-minute wants to point up too a little bit, or you have room for it to go. Still rejecting, right? Oh, what's the potential next move here, right? If this fails and breaks that freaking 85 right here, the 73, that's your failed bullish move. That's your bullish attempt. Failed at the 5-minute level once, twice, trying at it again, right? But you have nothing until it breaks that. The move down, oops, let me delete that. The move down will only continue if it can break that guy. All right, this level is now gone. Boom. SPX has nothing. I haven't seen any more candles up here on SPX since up here. Where you had that huge gap. It's kind of weird that gap, it lines up with this one right here. It lines up with this blue candle, actually. Like to the T. This blue candle. Oh, it does. Look at that. Look at this. That is interesting. Oh, shit. Like, to the T. That lines up to the T. That's wild. That's wild. It lines up perfectly with that candle. All right. Let's see. This is going to be a confirmed failed bullish move right here. I might get some more down push. Needs to break. Needs to close below 72 first. No wicks. No anticipation. None of that BS. You have to wait. You enter down. Lost the advanced replay too. Not sure why. With this WOD movement, which advanced read at 1209? Let's take a look. 1209, 1209, 1209. Where was the advanced read on 1209? 1209. This one? Yeah, I mean, you got it wicked out right there on that. Obviously, that wicked you out. But then played a little bit. It came back up. This one is just retesting this candle. But yeah, this one, wick 1, wick 2, right? Wick 3. Then came up. This one obviously blue. So then you had your range. Then after that, right? No advanced read is in play when you have a range. Then you do your range play. Boom, boom. There's your break and there's your move. You have to adjust, right? Not every single advanced replay is going to play out, especially when there's a kind of wild movement, right? This one, right? Oh, barely. Just a little tippy tip bounce right there. This one's back and forth. There's no play here. It's just wait for the range break. Here, right? It gave it a couple times, right? Gave 1 bounce, gave 2 bounce, and then that's it. Broke. Once it broke, formed that level below. That was it. Then it kind of held. Then it flipped, right? Now it created that stack level, and then it was holding below the zone. And there's your push down. So again, not every day is an advanced read day, right? Here's an advanced read on the opposite side that kind of played out. This one, obviously, failed to pull through. Yeah, here's a couple right here. There's one that pulled through down, another one, another one, another one. That one got all the way to the top, so broke the level. Level's gone. Then you have a little bit of a range, and then rejection, rejection. So yeah, today wasn't like there weren't super clean advanced reads. Oh look, it's breaking. It's breaking. Okay. Here's your retest. Now you want to see it stay below. It is at the current day low. Oh, there. Yeah, here you go. Where's the retest at 67? Pulled down 15 points already. Can it keep going? Oh, who knows? We're at the current day low, so you want to be cautious. Still, it's got a lot of room down. Like SPX has so much freaking room down. All right, there goes. Look at that. Clean as day, guys. See, you can see it over and over and over again. Right? But downtrend confirmed, still failed bullish move. There's your break. There's your retest. There's your quick move down. Like over and over and over again, nonstop. Right? Today is levels and failed bullish moves over and over all day. You just have to be patient. Look at that. Still going. I took it with 1 micro. Currently up 20 points almost. Just 1 micro, just to test the waters. Look at that, right? On repeat. Not drilled out. Up 547 now. Last Javi, this is being recorded. This was a freaking masterclass. Also, took a bounce in 9-3, handed down. Okay, salty, I can't hear. Oh, 11, you can't hear. You watch this video. It's gonna be on YouTube later. So with this recess at 41, we might see a long. How are you getting up? Okay. Are those all quantum levels showing the one? Yep, just lost another cell trying to short the 1 minute level at 28. It wicked and closed below, then it wicked above and wicked down. A second later, I entered. P-Money, what are you doing? Like what 12:15? You're entering right here. You're playing the P-Money. You have to be patient when the range forms. You were playing the range, right? The range formed over here at 12:13. This is where the range became in play right here. All right, if you get getting wicked out up here, then your stops were super duper tight. But this was the range. At this point, right, you had the advanced read a couple times here, and that was it, right? Never closed above. The level was still intact. They gave you that little move down there. Once I saw this blue guy, that advanced read was out of the play. Now you have your range right there. There's your range. This guy right here, and this guy right here. There's your range. What? Look what happened after that. That was a clean. All right, you got stuck in the middle. It sounds like you got stuck in the middle. However, we'll do the job recording this. Yep, on my YouTube, Madhouse. This will be on my YouTube channel. Oh my God, that thing is still dropping. Look at that, guys. Look at this. This was kind of a lowish risk considering. I mean, 20 points is still. I'm saying lowish risk. I mean, the drop for 40 points. So your RR is 1 for 2 right now, but still, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's on repeat, literally on repeat right now. Throughout the session, you had it happen up here. It just had to happen again, right? Rejected the 5-minute level, like just clean movement right now for me. This is where I eat. This would have been a huge, like actually it was a pretty good day so far. So if I was degen mode, I would definitely like be having one of my best days. When it comes to coming to a double stack, you go, okay, I keep getting pushed up. Comes to double stack. How do you call the rejection, or do you assume the first time? I answer that. I won't do that. Where do you put your stops for the level rejections? I get wicked out twice at 28 before ramp. So depends on the candle movement. Usually I like to keep it tight, like 5 to 10 points, but I also look for the level to break and hold above or below. Right? If the candles are moving way too wild, I may wait. I'm gonna wait for that level to hold. Like it's if I see too much wicks, I'm not gonna try to play it too much on the wicks. So you can't get wicked out left and right. It is possible, absolutely. I prefer when the wicks don't go through it, but when it's rangy, I like wide ranges. But this right here, obviously, this gave you range. That level hold, that advanced replay, right, just kept closing below. That's what would be the tougher potential scalp. For as long as it holds below in scope. But again, right, this is like, look at the movement today. Like P-Money, like I don't blame you, bro, because this level, right, 28, it wicked all the way up to 41. That's 13 points. Only for it to come back down, right? Came back down, like same 15 points. And then eventually, right, this one gave a nice strong push down for more. But as long as that held, as long as it didn't get closed over, that was fine. Then guess what happened? Later, it did break. This candle broke it, right? There's your blue candle. Once I saw that blue candle show up, this one did break that level. But then what did it have to do? What did it have to do? It had to break and hold above that guy for it to continue. It couldn't break it. It kept going back and forth. And then it broke our bullish candle. So you have to be able to just be very patient, P-Money. Like, again, don't try to play advanced reads all the time. Just like they're not always going to be perfect. They don't. There are perfect advanced read plays that don't stop you out. These first attempts wouldn't have. This one absolutely would have. Then it made its move, right? It did make its move. Then you had your blue candle show up for the range. Then I wouldn't be playing advance at this point. No advanced read in play. I'd be playing the range period. But you have that curve. But you have that back and forth. That's what you have. That's what you have to do. So it depends on the stop loss. Usually a stop loss on an advanced read is the candle itself, right? The level or the candle depending on the risk. That's where I would place my stop. If I got in at 29, my stop would be at 39, which isn't bad actually. Like this is a 10-point. This would if you had your stop loss initially up here on this guy, that wouldn't have been horrible on this one right here. The problem is that this level got created at this candle. So the initial you wouldn't have caught it. This one would have whipped you out. Absolutely. That one would have. So be cautious on these advanced reads with the levels being in front. They do tend to be pretty risky. And actually, I just noticed that. So that's kind of my bad on that P-Money too. But the level did cross in front. So this one wouldn't even have counted. This was the advanced read candle that would have whipped you out. That would have whipped me out. If I played this, that would have whipped me out too. 38, it hit 42. Your entry would have been around 29. Yeah, that possibly would have whipped me out. Is there, where do you put your stops? Is there a way to see execution marks on wealth charts on the chart? I have no idea, Benjamin. I don't know if there is. There's got to be. I'm assuming there is. Mine only shows one level on the 5-minute right now. If it only shows you one level, you should be able to go to settings and then adjust, right? Adjust. Make sure your look back time is back. I have it set to 60 days right now. And then max points. Make sure your max points from current price. I have it set to 1,000 just because. You have to have that up there. Your closest level might be a few hundred points away. So you have to make sure that is up there as well. Okay. I'm surprised I don't have 2-minute levels. I should have 2-minute levels, but I guess I don't. I'm gonna have to like plug in some 3-minute levels as well. But yeah, I have this set to 1,000. So, all right. Mine only shows 1 minute. Would you have taken the short at the 1-minute level at 28? 28. Here, yeah, possibly on the advanced read here. Absolutely would have tested that. Would have got whipped out. But once I saw this, immediately flipped to range. Hopefully that cleared it up for you, P-Money. Because I was a little confused at first, and then I kind of didn't even pay attention to where the cross was. I was just looking at it. Your 12-13 candle turned blue, and mine didn't. Is that Juan? Are you on MNQ or NQ? Make sure you're on, and also sometimes, and I hate this about the refresh rates on different browsers and stuff, you might have to refresh your chart for it to show up. Avi, when trading with Quantum, would you wait for the sell or buy signal indicated to enter, or does it depend? So the buy and sell signals for me, right, they're confirmation signals, but right, they are also the A++. When you have other confluences in play, the entry is always candle closure. And again, right, when the risk is too great, like in this instance, the risk was about 40 freaking points. I'm just going to take it with 1 micro. If it pulls back, I might add 1 more, and that's it. Like, I'm not going to, like, play this too heavy. It's a clean setup. You just get the move. You'll initially get the move. Right, but you have to be cautious, right? This was an A++ setup that gave you 13. It almost gave you 10 points, pulled up, and then obviously gave you a blue that failed, and then gave you another reverse setup, right? You had your range here that did kind of pull up and retest that guy before it failed and held below, and then gave you your failed bullish move here. But it is candle closure. It is absolutely candle closure. Here's another nice clean one. Candle closure was 216. Stop loss 60 points. That's risky as hell. Risky as hell. It didn't pull up a whole lot. It only pulled up like 9-ish points before it gave you the strong meltdown. Right, this one's risky for me. Crosses below the candles are super risky, right? So you always have to be careful with those, right? There's one A++ there, 0 wick on this, 309. That was a 50-point down move instantly. All right, be careful on these. This one didn't give any push at all. That one was a nice pull down. Right, here's your range. You see the crossovers get. You see stuff like this. Here's where you want to be careful for all the newbies. Right, when you see it start flatlining, you see cross after cross, be careful. That's super strong range area. This whole little area, this 453, then becomes an area like that's kind of like my midline for like where if it keeps holding above, it'll push, below it'll pull down. But you always want to be cautious when the action lines flatline and get really stuck together, because that's a strong indication of very strong potential range happening. And on the lower time frames, it gets ugly. It can get very ugly. I prefer it to not happen, but will it happen? Excuse me, will it happen? Yes. Well, look, are we going to do it again? Or is it going to try to flip now? No, other quantum range. So right, Kels. So I want to be clear, right? The buy and sell signals for NQ, you have to be cautious. Have confluences. Now, okay, for metals, a little different story. Because, right, there are a ton of scalping opportunities on metals. Clean setups on metals, right? Little retests, stop losses. But again, right, you have to be sized a certain amount. Metals are different, right? Micros, silver micros, super duper risky. Minis, suicide dangerous. Like minis on silver are just crazy, and I wouldn't touch them. But you're gonna see very clean setups for scalps on metals all freaking day, over and over and over again, where the stop losses don't initially get hit. A lot of nice clean retests. You're gonna see, like that one obviously fails, so it's not 100% obviously, but you're gonna see the same kind of movement over and over and over again. What time is this? 8:40, right before 9. I always get choppy movement around there. So I don't like to personally trade 20 minutes before 9. But you see movement, right? Silver respects levels very much, very, very much. Okay. Same with gold. Gold does the same thing, but metals move clean. Like metals for me give me scalping opportunities all day. I eat off of gold and silver overnight, and then kind of find setups during New York for NQ. But you'll see when it gives you nice clean moves, right? Big blue candle. There's your little advanced read on there. Low risk. You can see consistent setups all the friggin' time with metals. Like metals, yeah. That's why I fell in love with gold. I fell in love with gold big time. Like I fell in love with gold. I fell in love with silver. Right. For all the newbies, gold is the 1 and 2 minute. Okay. I have on my 1 minute chart, these levels that you see here, they're my 2 minute levels. On silver, it's the one. Everything else is 1 and 5. Everything else is 1 and 5. Gold is the only unique little ticker that has that factor. That is the 1 and the 2. So I want to make sure that is clear. I do have my 5 minute trend here because I do read the higher time frame trend. But it is the 1 and the 2 on metal, on gold. Okay. So I want to make that as clear as possible. All right. Oh, look, it's happening again. Oh, shit. Let's see what SPX looks like. SPX is also doing it, but needs to close below. This retest needs to hold below. If it pops back in, then it's just going to re-enter the range. Let's see. Close below. Dom's going crazy. There it goes. Like, there it goes. I mean, come on. come on, guys. Like, come on. Like, literally, like, this happened like 4 times. Look at that. Like 4 times in this hour. You guys wonder how I can trade the way I trade and why I take so many fucking trades? It's happening on repeat. It's kind of, I mean, that's why I love doing these sessions. It just happens on repeat over and over and over again. All right, tried to take 2 shorts at the 1 minute. Yeah, you got wicked out. I saw it. Yeah, you definitely got wicked out there. And then it formed the range. Once that blue popped up, that range formed up. Have you recording this? Yes, I'm recording this. 16 years, started at 36. There you go, Alaskan. There you go. P2P and Quantum is fire. Yeah, I love I love llama shit. Like I'm so P2P gang. If you're in here, right, you've seen me in his morning stuff. I'm in there. I love his stuff. Okay, like I'm in there every morning. I want to make sure I see what he sees too. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go eat lunch before power hour. Like I'm trying to like run through every question and I want to get everyone in. So I'm like running through anything I haven't answered for anyone right now. But I'm like 25 minutes behind. So the chart says go in the short, but I'm not sure here. So if the chart says, oh, yeah, look at that. Like that was a short drop. Boom. Now let's see if it pops back in. If it pops back in, then it'll just start playing it here again potentially. But if it rejects again, then you see some more down movement. Let's see what SPX is doing. Ooh, SPX just formed a 5-minute level. SPX just formed a 5-minute level here. So if this does break inside and close inside here, there's a good chance this might start coming up a bit. What do you want to call here? Yeah, there it goes. Yep, that 5-minute level here. So always pay attention to SPX. Please pay attention to it. SPX, look at that. That little 5-minute level here was to tell that this is trying to break back in, and there it goes. That 5-minute level formed. That was that little push SPX needed. And there was that push back inside of that previous range. That's the power of confluences right there. Power of confluences. I was eyeballing if it was going to get down here. That 5-minute level on SPX, boom. Right, does it mean it's going to go up a lot? No. It just, that was what I saw. Let's go, Gizleco. Thanks for Quantum Javi. After blowing accounts 4 months straight, finally passed an account just using Quantum ranges. Don't have a red day. Bro. Grizleco. You don't know how great that sounds to me, man. You don't know how great that sounds to me, bro. That's like all that hard work that we put into this. That's what it's about, bro. That's what it's about, man. Keep at it. Keep taking your time, right? Stay disciplined and humble, man. Sky's the limit. Got that Supreme. Let's go. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. You're late, Teddy Guap. You'll watch this on YouTube later. There's tariff talk. No wonder. There's tariff talk. Maestro, have you tried wealth charts on the phone? Is it doable? Not yet. I did a little bit, Lou. It's. I'm actually talking. I'm gonna be talking with Rob about it because I have my notes. I want to draw out some ideas for him to give to his people to see if it's something that's possible. If he can do what I'm thinking, holy shit! Like, wealth charts is about to be game changer on mobile. If he can do what I hope he can do. So I am going to be talking to him. I'm getting my notes ready. I want to make sure I present him something really, really like kind of exactly what I want to would like to see, like what I would ideally like to see, especially with like, I use the DOM, but if I can use the chart too, I'd be great with it too. I'll be cool with it if I can use the chart on mobile, right? But as you guys see, right, I like having my 3 charts up on my mobile too. So it's important for me to kind of have that little setup. But if he can do what I'm thinking, it's going to be amazing. Don't need premium to work. May 400 this session. Let's go spiral. All right, 887 is what I have. Well, that's for like, do I need premium? You do not need premium, Teddy Guap. You do not need premium. All you got to do, the default setting should have that non-premium box checked. You do not need premium. I have not touched the second charts in a long time. Wow, look at that strong push up from that 5-minute. Look at that 5-minute level on SPX form, and then NQ just ripped right back in, all the way back to the top. We may start seeing if this is going to be the flip. If it's going to be the flip, we are seeing NQ possibly trying to, right? It's going to potentially push up further. But first, it needs to break this 860, hold above these two areas right here. 860, let's say 72. 861, 872. These little two areas needs to break right back in to potentially start playing around in this zone right here. So it's in the top of the base hits. Let's go. Target hit. There you go, Alaskan. There you go, Alaskan. Way to go, brother. Awesome, man. Awesome. Looks like everyone ate a little bit, guys. I'm gonna go. I'm so sorry if I could not get to everyone's questions. Click global settings. There you go. Thank you, Alaskan Hog. Oh my God, look at that ripper. All right, there, pop back above. Now it needs to stay up there, right? It needs to start staying above 60. It might retest it, but it needs to stay above 60. This could be the beginning of the flip. This could be the beginning of the flip. Look at that, right? You saw that touch right here at 63 and push right up. That's what you want to see. If you can hold above here, then you'll start seeing some play in here potentially. It needs to hold. Whoops. So actually, let me just put it back the way it was. Right there. It needs to hold above, or it could get stuck in here too. I don't want it. If it breaks back in, break into the range. Simple. And the 5-minute is trying to form here too. So I wouldn't be surprised if it starts ranging a little bit. It has been giving some really clean moves. It needs to continue to hold above 60, break over 72, and hold above 72. This 5-minute is trying to form at 23. And see what SPX is up against. I don't see anything major on SPX. Oh, broke right back in. Oh, not strong enough. Not strong enough. Not ready yet. Wait for that 5-minute to form. Other than that, at the moment, she might be stuck in a range. All right. That was one missing. Now you're setting for a little minute. Blah, 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 blah. MAQ. Everything making. That was missing so many levels at default. All right. Good, good, good. Awesome. Let's go. Let's go. That drop was due to crypto. It was? Wow. You see, yeah, my first silver mini, I got cooked in like 5 seconds. I went in with 3. It was the first time I ever experimented, and it was on a 150K account, and it like instantly cooked 4,500 in drawdown with 3 minis in the blink of an eye. I was just like, literally, my face was that face Logan made when he traded it that one day during Power Hour. He's like, "Yep, I'm in it," and he said 3 minis too, and I was like, ugh. He's like, "Oh shit, I'm up 2K," and then in the blink of an eye, his face froze, and I'm like, "You got cooked, didn't you?" You got cooked in the blink. It was freaking hilarious. Yeah, it's pushing up. This thing wants to push up now. Are you jumping into trade right after candle closure or when it is breaking your level? Usually, Barbara, I wait for the candle closure for the level breaks. Candle closure, retest, go. With days like today, it has been going. So you use that same. I try to keep that same candle that's breaking it as the stop. But I like to break and retest. That's my favorite entry points. Break and retest. The retest is the entry, and the breaking candle is my guide. Not always do I enter level breaks like that though. Always. Same question. Just trying to figure this out too. So quantum settings, Tomo and Jack, they should be default. Like my settings are default, right? There is the tutorial video. I kind of break a few things down, right? Everything is set to default. The colors are the things you want to change, right? The max points. This is the only part right here where I may change some. The trend transparency on the 1 and the 2, I set it to 100. I don't want to look at it. I have the set points to 1,000 on NQ because we're down 600 points today. So you need a lot of room for these levels, right? Then after that, everything else here does not matter. You just want to have these navel chart, entry trigger, these right here, these 4. Everything else doesn't matter to me. Like, and then on gold, this right here, this time frame 2SR should be 2. That's it. Everything else is 5. Gold is the only one. This changes 2 for the 2. But settings should be default, right? Here's your candles. If you want to have regular candles, you can uncheck those. Your candles will turn regular green and red, right? These are default to the max options trading colors there. The DOM is going wild. Holy crap. What is going on? Are they still talking about tariffs right now? The DOM is going just nuts right now. I don't trust anything when the DOM's going like that. That was insane what I just saw. Look at that down push. It broke above barely here and immediately pulled right back. It can't hold. It can't break back in. It cannot hold to 70s right now. It broke here, rejected. Broke here, rejected again. This needs to start holding above the 70s if it wants to go. Oh, there was our 5-minute level that also locked in a little while ago. I mean, it's trying to hold on to it right now, at least. But this has to hold 27. So what I'm going to see, if this is going to be a potential change, right? Because we did create a newer high here. You want to see this level hold for a new high or low, right? This is where you can use some technical analysis. You guys are getting some chicken today, like some real chicken today. That could maybe create a high or low here for the potential real flip. But then what do you want to see, right? Now we have a purple guidance, right? We have that 72 here. Now you could have that. Now you could have this wick at the top. That's your purple candle right there. So this is going to also be a potential confirmed flip and trend. Right? The 5-minute is not a true flip here. Could be a lower time frame tip flip happening first. If it's going to do it, right, you want to see this hold, then you want to see it push back up and break that 90. for the time being, it is still downtrending pretty damn hard. Yes, I'm recording this. Did I scroll back up? Okay, start to do that. Let's go. Let's go, dude. That's amazing, bro. Okay. Always, every time I look at the chart and I come back, it scrolls up and I don't touch anything. Maybe I do. Maybe I do accidentally do it. Let's go, Supreme. Let's fucking go, dude. From this session alone. Go to the gym, brother. Go work out the muscles. Yep, P-Money, I'm telling you, man, those quantum range plays are fucking gold. We caught a few of them today. So how many candles in between to not be considered a range? As long as those candles, so as long as those candles have not been broken, it doesn't matter how many candles, right? As long I want them, ideally, I want them in the same price area, right? I want them to be like this. This is what I want right here, back and forth, just like that. That's what I want. That's it. When they're like this, right? When they're like that, it's a wider range. I'm not a big fan of that, because there's a lot of play in there, and you have to weigh. You can play the inside of it. You can, right? I've done it on occasion. It's a lot riskier, a lot more patience, because you just have to short it when it's at the top, and if as long as it holds below, then you hit the bottom, mid, whatever it is. You can have the midline in middle if you want, right? But eventually it's going to break, so you want to be cautious. But this back and forth right here would be ideally what I would want. And then once you have it like this, it kind of becomes a wider range. I don't see anything on the 2 or the 1, but this is what you want. And how many candles in between, it doesn't matter. What matters to me is that it's not broken. Once the candle breaks, right, this candle broke here, this blue candle is no longer valid. It's not a valid blue candle anymore. It did break. Push right back up, obviously, but this blue candle is not technically a valid range zone anymore. I like to keep the line there for now to kind of have a visual, but for the time being, that is no longer, like I said, a valid candle. Any of these purples, that this candle right here was broken, right? It's no longer valid either. I don't have any clear range on my 1 minute or 2 minute or 5 minute. So at the moment, no clean range until I see a blue pop up around here, if we see one. All right, they're in order sitting at 800. A magnet. I don't know, 800 psychological, big time. Hit 80. Yeah. 1,000 on so many levels compared to 100. Yeah. It brings up a lot. That's why I have it set low, because when you don't want to see a whole bunch, you drop it low. But when there's days like today, you kind of have to have it up there. All right. So now the travel to the crypto. Let's go. Let's go, Alaska. How are we going to be honest? Thank you, YouTube. The YouTube, if you check out my profile, Teddy Guap, you'll see it. If you click on my name, you should see the link in there for my YouTube. You just find YouTube. Okay, awesome, brother. I have so much content in there, right? And if you pay attention, it's a lot of the same stuff. I look for the exact same thing. Okay, there's what it's doing. Look, it's doing what I was hoping it's doing. Let's see if it's going to break up here now. This is the higher. This is where technical analysis comes into play with these levels. This is the potential higher low here. Now it needs to rip over 90 for the confirmed flip on the lower time frame. It needs to break above there. But look at that nice tap of that level at 27 to the T. Look at that. Hit 27 on the money. For a 50-point ripper. Ridiculous. Yeah, gold just dropped $20. No way. Did it really? Oh, shit. Oh, it did. Holy crap. Look at that. Boom, boom. Stack level formation is what started it. All right. Still struggling to break. Needs to break up here next. It's getting up there, but it's got to break up there. All right, y'all. Try it on ES. The levels work very nice. Yep. ES has a bed of levels. So I will definitely be looking at SPX and ES. If this thing continues to drop, I'm going to be using SPX and ES levels as my confluences for NQ. But I hope everyone everyone's kind of keeping track of what I'm seeing here, right? Here's that break. Here's the confirmation, right? If this breaks over 90 and can hold and rip, this is a confirmation of the flip of trend on the lower time frame. Right, very simple what I was looking at, and I was telling you guys what I could potentially like to see it come down here and make a lower higher low. You know, just saying, man, you guys got a lot of chicken today. Understand you guys got a ton of chicken today. So when this loads up, you guys might want to save today's session as one you might want to go to for any future reference on some little added chicken that is not usually something I include. In what order? You can watch definitely the manual video, and then everything else. The session, the daily challenges are probably the best, especially the first day. The first day I'll go over the basics, and then day 4 kind of add a little something in there with the action lines and how to kind of watch for these zone areas. And then today, but everything is repetitive. Like I literally repeat the same thing over and over and over again. Right? That's why I'm as consistent as I am. I look for the same thing over and over and over again. All right, Teddy Wap. So it's not like you see all that content in there, like, oh my god, how much information is in there? Just pay attention to how many times I say the exact same thing. Nothing on my setups changed. Nothing. It's the same 4 setups. Level reaction, quantum ranges, A++. This was recorded, Pete Pizzle. It was recorded. You'll be able to watch this on my YouTube later on. So don't worry, brother. All right, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and eat lunch. I have like an hour and 20 or so minutes. I hope you guys caught those bangers, man. They were on repeat. They were on repeat today. Like so many points on repeat. I appreciate y'all. I hope everyone learned a little bit of something. We're going to be on this again, if not this week, next week. Obviously, I'm going to try to sneak in another session if I can before I get busy again. I got quite a bit of stuff coming up with my students as well. Look at that. Beautiful break and hold right now. Still trying to push up. But everyone, enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you guys for Power Hour in a few. YouTube gang, please like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Tickle the bell. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.